Golly, it zoomed in. Alright. Let's just it. I'm Darius Moore. This is my personal testimony of how I came to Christ. For those, I don't know, I guess wondering or wanting to know, I guess. Sorry, my hair's a mess. But, had a fairly decent childhood, I'd say. Decent in my eyes. Collars, huh? My fault. But, first, second grade, it's pretty normal, you know. I was born in Hawaii, but I just remember being in Hawaii for that time. Parents both in the military, so we moved around quite a bit. Had a best friend named Pierre Summers. It was a great friendship, along with Tavares, Trey, Alicia, other friends. Let's see, that was first, second grade. Then we moved. That was the beginning of third grade for me. That was, let's see, what years was that? That was 2000, let me say, yeah, hold up, 2006, somewhere between 2009 and 2012. In third grade, a lot of things happened, a lot of a downward spiral, I'd say. But first introduced to pornography, a way for the devil to enter my life. I didn't know it at the time. I mean, I was 9 or 10, one of those ages. Then one night as I went to sleep, my parents were downstairs. I had it upstairs in the little Virginian house. It was all quiet. It was alone. It was dark. I remember seeing I don't know how to describe, but a faceless woman, if that would make sense. Just like a woman in like a blue dress, long black hair, but with no face, like just meat. And at first it was outside of the window, and it's like, okay, if I just go to sleep, it'll disappear. If I can't see you, you can't see me, or peekaboo, how a child mind works with that. And then, it was behind me, like I felt that presence behind me, and I was like, nope. I ran, cried all the way downstairs to my dad, begged him to let me sleep with him. And he did. He was a pretty good dude. He was a pretty good dude. He is a good dude. I'm saying, like, he's dead. He's a good dad. He is a good dad. But that, along with pornography, a lot of demonic doors just basically opened in my life. Then, I was pretty much, from that point, I've experienced some racism with teachers. She wouldn't let me go to the bathroom one time. Claimed it for some special reason, but let other kids go to the bathroom. But, that was like, that point, that was like such a minor thing to me that I don't know, I don't really obsess over that. But that happened, third grade, then fourth grade, pretty much just terrified of life. But we moved to Oklahoma. That was pretty cool. It was a lot in Oklahoma, so there wasn't much to do. But at the same time, I was kind of in that mindset, emotional state, where I didn't want to do anything anyway. All I did was play video games, like the Wii, the Xbox 360. I just played old reruns. I wouldn't really go outside barely, and this was like to play basketball because that's just what's familiar to me. Or I really wouldn't play with other people or anyone. It was just a time of isolation, and that lasted for a long time, along with pornography. And that lasted, that cycle or life state, I think that would be the best term or phrase. Anyway, That lasted from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7 grades, about up until the 10th grade. But doing with all that, I'll put a clip in of what Ted Bundy said. He said it best in the way that I think,
The All-American woman, and it happens. It happened in stages, gradually. It doesn't necessarily, not to me at least, happen overnight. My experience with, let's say, pornography generally, but
Ted Bundy said he said it best in the way that I think, how I related to it, or what was going on in my life at that time. A little bit with Jeffrey Dahmer, but with that, in pornography, I was going to kill my mom. I was going to bash my mom's brains in with a bat. Just a lot of hatred. That's the easiest way I could sum all that up. But before that point, I'd say I allowed the devil to really take over my life. Not willingly. I won't say not willingly, but at so much ignorance in the 6th grade. It was like I don't know how many of y'all listen to XXXTentacion, but he really impacted my life. Not that he was a devil worshiper. That's not what I was saying. But one of his songs, I spoke to the devil in Miami. I prayed a prayer, not realizing who I was talking to. I was just kind of praying, or at least what I thought to be prayer at that time. I would pray, but the one who answered or was responding was the devil, was Satan. The reason I know that is because, sorry, I'm rocking. Let me. I don't mean to make people see my hole, but the way I know that is because I played soccer a little bit as a kid, but I never really worked for it, And then all of a sudden, to have all of this status or achievement this is middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, so it's not like high school though, but to have be ranked the number 3 scorer in all the Southwest region and the number 1 scorer of all of Oklahoma with no work put in, that just didn't sit right. And also because of how it turned my heart, how it made me hateful, how it made me vengeful, how I wanted to hurt a lot of people. And I don't know why I feel the need to get this story out. I'm really just following what the Lord told me to do. Honestly, that's just what I'm doing. But in doing so, that hatred wouldn't just stay on the soccer field. It would seep into all other areas of my life, which obviously affected pornography, and how I'll insert a clip of Ted Bundy in what is his last little interview. But with my mom, I wanted to kill her. And at that night, during that night, I was standing at her bed. My mom was laying down. I was standing about this close away, or this far away from her. Literally just watching her breathe, watching her sleep. Thinking about all the ways I could hurt her, all the ways I could kill her. And I don't know what made me think about hitting her with a bat or killing her with a bat. I guess Negan, now I'm saying. But I have to ingest humor in this so it was not as depressing. But doing it with that, so that led to, or at least that's how it was at first, but I heard a still small voice tell me no. And that still small voice also is referred to in Isaiah, I think chapter 64 in the Bible, but Isaiah, that still small voice, that same voice talked to me, and he just said no. And I was like, okay, well, not that easily, but I was like, I don't know why, but okay, I'll do it. I won't do it. I'm a little nervous, but I won't do it. And then in turning from that, all that hatred and those feelings internalized with myself that I was going to kill myself. Mostly, I think that reason, or my reason being behind that, is because of how much of a burden I knew I was on my family. How I let Satan into my heart, into my household, and he destroyed my family and took that from me through a messy, bloody divorce. With that, with that, and so I was just gonna say, okay, well then I'll make things right. I'll atone for what I've done. And I was gonna slit my throat. At the time, that seemed like the most painful way to go out. I didn't want to take a painless way. I didn't feel like I deserved that. I was gonna I don't know how deep I was gonna go, but I was gonna try to make it as painful as I could. But in the midst of that, of me putting the knife to my throat, I remember the Lord, I don't know what he did, but for some reason, as I was doing that, I had like a flood, I should say, of memories of how I used to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And I cut a cross into my left hand. I don't know if it's well seen here. I could put a picture in, and it'll do better. Also, I would cut my face. That's how much I hated myself. My mom also looks really similar to me. I could also put another hatred, really hatred just in general, just was so deep rooted, and I didn't know the reason why until I started reading the Bible, until I found Christ, which brings me to another story of how Jesus revealed himself to me in a dream. I'm really just telling this story. He was kind of how that fourth angel is described. Boom, 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 boom. That fourth angel is described in Meshach, Shadrach, and Abed-Nego as they were being thrown into the furnace. That fourth image came to that dream, through a dream I had. I decided that night to lay underneath my bed. I don't know why. I just did. So I laid underneath my bed, went to sleep, but woke up, not like physically woke, but like in a lucid dream. And it was just complete, utter darkness. My room wasn't the same. It was just a dark atmosphere. But that luminescent, transfiguring light came, talked to me, showed me what to do, what's the right path, what not to do to change the path that I've already been on, that I've already been following without him. And another biblical allegory or story I could tell with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John was Jesus transfiguring on the mountain with Moses and Elijah. That figure, or how it's described, also came to me and talked to me. And from there on, I've just been following the Lord as best as I can in everything he's told me to do. And so far, he's promised me a lot. I don't want to spoil it, so I won't talk too much about it. But he's promised me a future wife, and I'm excited about her. At least what I believe in how, and again, it is a dream. These both relate to dreams, but the dream that I've had with her, for one, I could see her face. That's a key part. I've had dreams of so many other women and I could not see their face. I don't know, but I could see her face. She was in a silver whitish dress, and it was like a synagogue. I think that's the term for it. I could put in an image to try to match it. But a synagogue, and in that synagogue, we would say our vows. There are both of our families. We would pray. We would listen to the wedding door. Like, do you take this dear? I do. Do you take this dearly woman to be your wife? And I do. All that. And at first, the devil tried to bust through the door, but then Jesus, hallelujah, Jesus came in, booted him out the door, and was like, and then came behind both of us and hugged us. And I was like, oh, that's whoa, that's great, that's cute. I don't know, that made me feel pretty good. And along with other dreams with her, and with basketball too. No, I don't want to spoil those. I don't want that to be anonymous until it's not anonymous. So I won't talk too much about that. But I think I say this story both to share my testimony, but also to say that the Lord can and will save all of those if you're willing to seek him, if you're willing to listen and obey and do what's right. Because as like with the domestic abuse, good intentions don't always lead to good results or good fruits. I mean, killing my mother would have spared my sister from what she was going through in that time of our lives, but it would have caused one. She would have been without a mother. Yeah, she would have been adopted. And my mom, I'm not bashing my mother. I love my mother to death. She's a lot better now. We talk about the Lord together, actually. We actually just got done talking. But with that story, also to show how this world, the things that it seeks, how it can change you, how it can corrupt you, how it can lead to doors that you don't know that they'll lead to. I mean bad doors, I don't mean good. I wouldn't say good, or at least maybe in the terms of the world, it might be good, but it'll be good only for a little time, where it'll be good and then it'll be quickly turn around to be bad again. Like with my soccer. So that's my testimony, and I'll probably post more videos like this. Probably put on different outfits each time. But that's my testimony. That's my life before I came to Christ.
Well, it's not about deserve, Jeff. That's the thing about grace. We don't deserve it, but we get it anyway.